everybody. PJ Riley, Lancaster Archery in our video studio today to talk about one of the first bows that we have of the new season. You know, we're still in 2025. Is this a 25 bow? Is this a 26 bow? I think we're calling it a 25 bow. This is the Bowtech Ascend. What the folks at Bowtech said was they were planning on launching this more later in the fall, kind of in the more traditional time, but they liked it so much they wanted to get it out ahead of the 2025 bow hunting season. So we're just kicking off hunting seasons. You got the Bowtech Ascend as an option for those of you going out there. So what are we looking at? So before we get into the specs of the Ascend, what I'll say is this is a unique offering for Bowtech, who's trying to capture a new price point. So this bare bow is going to retail for right around $899. You know, we're used to flagships, $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 for the bare bow. $899 for this one. And it still has some of those signature flagship Bowtech features. We'll tell you about those. But, you know, $899, hey, under $1,000 for a bare bow that's got a lot of performance built into it. Now you can see I have nothing on this bow. I don't even have a D-loop. So right now, as I'm talking to you, I don't have any idea how this thing performs. We're gonna discover that together. I'm gonna build it up. You know, we'll do our speed test. So I can tell you the speed rating is up to 340 feet per second. We will do our own speed test and we'll show you what we get. We'll paper tune it and then we're gonna go outside. I got a pretty cool challenge in mind that I wanna try with this that depends on where we're going. We're going to a unique place. I got a unique challenge. But having said that, so I can't speak to how this bow shoots yet. We'll discover that together. But let's talk about what the Bowtech Ascend is. We're looking at 31 inches axle to axle. We do have a 6.5 inch brace height on this bow. The bow does weigh right at 4.2 pounds. I just weighed it. Something a little bit different as well with the Bowtech Ascend is our draw weight range. It's gonna be 15 pounds. So you're either gonna get the 45 to 60 version, or what I have here is the 55 to 70 version. That's 45 to 60 pounds, 55 to 70 pounds. And it just gives you an extra 5 pounds of draw weight adjustment. You know, as you're playing with this bow, shooting it for different applications, you just get 5 extra pounds. And it's gonna have a rotating mod from 24.5 to 30 inch draw length. Now, one of those features that we're carrying over from the flagship bows is the Bowtech flip disc right here. You're gonna get 2 different performances out of this bow. You're gonna have, you can see it right here, we've got comfort down on the bottom there, and we've got performance on the top right here. I drew this back. I think we're on performance right now. That's where you should get up to that 340 feet per second. We'll do speed tests on both comfort and performance for you. But that's one of the features that they carry over. So you can flip the module over and you get 2 completely different performances out of this bow. Sticking with the cam, you know, what we have here is a 4-track binary cam. This is something Bowtech, actually many of the manufacturers are going to that 4-track binary because it's super stable. We're gonna have 4 tracks for our strings, keep that cam vertical. And then we do have the Bowtech deadlock system for tuning this bow. However, this is what we're calling deadlock light. So as you know, with the Bowtech deadlock system, we're gonna have an Allen screw right here inside the axle. So we turn that, and what happens is this axle acts as kind of a worm gear. And as I turn it, the cam shifts left or the cam shifts right. Depending on which way I turn the Allen key, cam just moves on that axle. Now, with the deadlock light, what Bowtech is saying is that the range of movement is not as big as it typically is with the deadlock system, but the movements are finer. In other words, each movement of that Allen key, when I'm turning it, it's gonna move that, it's gonna move the cam left and right in finer detail. So in other words, you can really fine tune, it'll be easier to fine tune this cam as you move it from left to right. But you know, that's a timing system, that's a tuning system, deadlock, where you don't need a bow press. You're just gonna sit there on the line, shoot through paper, come up to the axle, turn that key to get that cam to move left or right, and you're gonna tune it right there. We're gonna do that. We will paper tune it for you. So I'll tell you right up top, one of the flagship features on the cam that we do not have, that Bowtech is known for, is their deadlock timing system. So that was a unique timing system that Bowtech had built into the cam, where you essentially slide the cable up and down where you don't need a bow press. With this one, we will have to, if we have timing issues, we'll have to go to the bow press and twist the cables. We've been doing that forever. But I just wanted to let you know that's one of the features that we don't have in the Ascend. Now, coming down the bow, we are gonna have a machined Picatinny rail right here in the front for your sight. We did away with the center mass. That was a unique sight mounting feature that Bowtech has had for mounting sights onto their bow. They did away with that. We went to the pick rail. Of course, you still have your standard mounts on the side for if you have a standard sight. Then coming down, you're gonna have 2 holes here for a standard side mount rest, or we have this plate on the back here where you can add an IMS, integrated mounting system. Any rest that's an IMS rest, you can mount right there to that. Basically, it's a dovetail. Then we have a new grip. So Bowtech has had their deadlock grip system, which was an adjustable grip. We do not have that on the Ascend. Instead, we have a new rubber molded grip. It's pretty comfortable. I'm gonna be eager to see how it shoots. Just putting my hand in it, this feels like a grip that I'm gonna like. Who knows until we shoot it. That's where we get to see how all these things function. But it's nice rubber texture, a little extra texture right on the back. I like the shape of it. It's got nice edges. It's not too rounded. This doesn't feel like a grip that's gonna roll in my hand. Feels like one that's gonna stay right where it's supposed to. Then we do have 2 positions up front for mounting stabilizers. There is not one on the back, so for your side rod, if you run a side rod, you're gonna have to run it from the front position there, but you do have 2 positions for a front stabilizer. And then of course we have our orbit dampeners. That's something Bowtech has had. We're gonna have one at the bottom, it looks like. Just one on the bottom. Basically, that's a vibration dampener is what that does. So what you're gonna see, you're gonna notice I have some accessories out here already. This is the deluxe kit that Bowtech is offering. It's optional. You don't have to buy that. You can just buy the bare bow and put whatever you want on it. But they have a deluxe kit and you're gonna get a black gold rush sight. We're gonna get the ripcord rack drop away rest. We're gonna get a 6-inch center mass stabilizer. That's a Bowtech branded stabilizer. And then I have behind me, it's gonna come with a tight spot. This is a 5-arrow quick disconnect quiver. I'm not gonna put this on the bow because I don't shoot with a quiver on the bow, but I am gonna put all the other accessories. And then you are gonna get a Bowtech wrist sling. So I'm gonna build up this bow with their accessories, so it'll be the Bowtech Ascend with their deluxe kit. So what you're gonna see would be the $12.99 version. As I said, we're gonna build that up. We're gonna get the timing, we're gonna paper tune it, we're gonna do speed tests on performance and the comfort settings, and then we're gonna go outside and put this thing to the test. You know, when we get a new bow in like this, I don't want to just see it in the shop and, you know, shoot it at 6 feet through a chronograph, which we were going to do. I want to know what it does outside. This is a bow hunting bow. We're going to be shooting this outside in hunting conditions. I want to know what this thing can do. Let's get to it. All right, we got all our accessories on here, so now we're gonna check the cam timing. All right, timing's good, right out of the box, like that. All right, Bowtech Ascend. Here we go with our paper tune. I got my Victory Rip TKO 300s. This should be about 70 pounds, so 30-inch draw. Okay, so we've got a knock low right tear. Let's just take another shot to verify that, and then we'll fix it. Identical tears. Okay, so first thing we're gonna fix is the knock low. We're gonna bring that up to get that set first. And so what I'm gonna do is drop my rest down. I got plenty of room, so that's not a problem. And on this sight, it is right here. Is my elevation adjustment. And so everybody's saying, hey, your rest isn't tied in. Well, this is exactly why. Because now, as I come down with the rest, so I just made, you know, as I came down, that in effect lengthens my cable. Well, now I can pull it through. And now I can get back to where I was. All right, let's shoot it again. Right. Looks like we just got to go a little bit more. This is our shot here. We came from there, went to there. So a little more. Rest, lowering. Oh, man. So close. Okay, so now, as we said, knock right. So we're gonna use our deadlock system here. And this is the deadlock light. So what we do is loosen these. And now what we want to do is we want to bring the cam to the tear. So I want to move it to the right. And that should be, yeah, counterclockwise turn. Got to remember that. Did a little. Let's try that. All right, let's see how we did. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Right there. If anything, that just needs to come a smidge more to the right, sorry. We like perfection, so we're going for that. But it's right there. And you can see how easy this is. I'm just standing here on the line doing it. That was so close that I'm actually just gonna try the top cam here and see if that doesn't give me a bullet hole. If it doesn't, I'll go to the bottom, but I think that's gonna fix it. Money. Let's check this out right here. Look at that. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots to a bullet hole. We never left the line. Doesn't get any easier than that. All right, now we're gonna switch to our speed test, and remember, we're gonna do both comfort and performance to show you what we get there. Okay, so we're gonna do our speed test now, and first we have to get our draw weight. Tell you what that is. We're a little hot, 72.5. Let's just take a little twist out here. We want to get it right to 70. Okay, quarter turn out. Let's see if that took us down. Nope, 72.1. Let's keep going. Let's try a half turn. Take 3. All right. 70.8. We're in the 70s. Close enough for me. Okay, so we know the test parameters are 70 pounds, 30-inch draw, 350 grain arrow. And I'm gonna say, I think I'm on performance. I don't actually know. It's at 80% let off, so I think that's performance, but we're gonna give you a speed test on both, so we're gonna find out together. .328.3. Take a second shot. .328.1. All right, we're gonna flip the disc over to whatever is on the other side, and then we'll shoot it again and see what we get. All right, 2 things first. I realized the module says flip disc, and I think I may have been portraying the issue that all you do is flip it over. Actually, what you do is I take the top one and flip it to the bottom one, flip it to the top. That changes the orientation of the module. So that's what I mean by flip. It's not just simply flipping it over. And then 2, what I just learned is that whatever shows right here, that's the setting you're on. So I was on comfort, so that 328, that was on comfort. Now we're on performance. So this one has the aggressive draw. So we're gonna shoot again. Everything's the same. All we did was flip the discs from one side to the other, and now we're on performance. Watch this draw cycle. Right there. .336.8. Remember, we had a 340 is the speed rating. We are right there. We'll take one more shot. 328 on comfort, 336.8 so far on performance. Shot 2. 337. So right there, basically 3 pounds off the rating. That's pretty good. Now we're gonna see what this thing does out to shoot it. We got the performance, we can see how it was to tune. I wanna know how it shoots when we're out there shooting at distance. How does this thing handle? And I can tell you before I do that, I'm swapping back to comfort setting. All right, let's go outside. All right, so we're out here now with our Bowtech Ascend with the deluxe kit on it. That's the accessories that we've got on here. And we wanted to put it through the paces to see what it's like to shoot this bow. Let me shoot another. So remember, this is gonna be an $8.99 bare bow, $12.99 with the accessories on it that I have, plus a 5-arrow quiver. So this is not flagship pricing. Man, it's shooting pretty good. So you saw I have it on the comfort setting. Let's mention that first, where I'm shooting 328 feet per second. Speed with, that's with the 350 grain arrow. These arrows are a good bit heavier, probably in the 430 range. But what I notice is the draw cycle of this. You know, my handheld scale showed 80% let off. I'm gonna say I agree with that. There's not a huge valley. It's smooth drawing, right? Right there. But what I will say is that the drop into the valley is not as deep as some other bows that I've felt. It holds at full draw comfortably, but you can tell this is not 90% let off. Aim's really nice. I'm on the side of a hill here, so I see myself bubbling out, and so I'm kind of, after the shot, leaning into it because I'm not accounting for that. But it aims nice. And at the shot, so it's not a loud bow. It doesn't jump. I'm gonna say there is a little bit of vibration. Not bad. That was a better shot. I'm kind of liking, the more I shoot it, I'm liking that little bit of extra weight at the back end. It's helping me hold steady. You know, this is a super light stabilizer with just 2 ounces out the front there, so I don't have a lot of stabilization weight on it. But yeah, quiet. So far, it seems to be pretty accurate. I'm shooting here at 50 yards. And it's a nice shooting bow, you know? $8.99, remember, we're under $1,000 with this bow. Took us almost no time to tune it. I think 7 or 8 shots it took us. And out here, it seems to be performing. This grip, I am liking this grip, this new grip that they have here. It's thin in just the right places where I like it. Yeah, I'm putting them in there. Arrow flight looks really good. All right, so what do we want to do with this bow? So I always like to see, what can I do with these bows? You know, my aim is, can I be successful? If I'm taking this bow hunting, can I be successful with it? So I like to shoot them at distance. And we're out here on a range that there's a gun range up above where they have sporting clays. So there are a whole bunch of claybirds laying around. So I thought, well, what if we shot a claybird, and the farthest that I can get shooting at the farthest target is 60 yards, I can get to 80. So let's try and shoot a claybird with the Bowtech Ascend at 80 yards. All right, here we go. I think I have a decent 80-yard mark. You know, this is the deluxe kit with the Bowtech Ascend. Includes a black gold 5-pin rush sight. And man, one thing I'll say is these pins are bright. So I think I have a good 80-yard mark. I've only been out here for about 15, 20 minutes, but let's see what we can do. Oh, just missed it. These are 19 thousandths pins, and they completely cover this CLAYBIRD at 80 yards. Oh, how did that not break it? I gotta be surrounding it. I think that one went to the right just a little bit. You guys can see on our impact camera where they're going. Oh, come on. I gotta be all around it. I'm following the arrow flight and it disappears at the CLAYBIRD, but clearly the CLAYBIRD has not broken yet. There we go. 5 shots at 80 yards. I want to check out this group. You can already see the group, but I know I'm all around that. But 80-yard CLAYBIRD, first day I'm shooting this bow with the Bowtech Deluxe kit on here. So it's their sight, their stabilizer, their rest, ripcord rack, black gold sight, Bowtech stabilizer there. Coming out here, shooting it for 20 minutes, I can hit a CLAYBIRD at 80 yards. Bowtech Ascend. Hey, I'm calling this one a winner. All right, that's it for the Bowtech Ascend 80-yard CLAYBIRD challenge. We met it. So, took this bow out of the box this morning. We tuned it. We got it sighted in. Came out here, spent maybe 15, 20 yards to get a sight mark and hit that CLAYBIRD at 80 yards. So 100%, I can promise you, you can be successful with this bow as a bow hunting bow. That's primarily what this is. And I did it, you know, with the deluxe kit that we have on here. Remember, this bow is going to be $8.99 bare, $12.99 with the accessories. And these accessories are nice, especially this sight. I can promise you, if you like to have pins that are super bright, this one is it. But if you want to see the different options that are available for the Bowtech Ascend, be sure to click the link in the description below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. And as always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at LancasterArchery.com.